Welcome to the society. I am Jax, and I'll be your host.
Hello, sentient beings. It is I, Jaxmus Prime, and today we're going to continue on with the series called The Story of Jaxmus Prime. Today's story, we're going to be talking about the second part of Jaxmus Prime. But first, before we start the video, if you're new here and you haven't seen the first video, I recommend go checking it out. It's even got 150 views. The first video was called The Story of Jaxmus Prime Part 1 After the War Began. So, go check that video out, and then come back here to check this one.
Hey, big brother?
Yes, Beagle?
You almost forgot to introduce us.
Oh yes, I almost did. Before we begin, I want you to meet my brothers. I did say I did had some brothers back in the first video. Well, actually, it's true. I want you to meet Beagle, my youngest brother, Magma Fist, the engineer, the smart one, and the samurai. Cryoclaw, the ladies man, and he knows martial arts. Electro, he is kind of like a troublemaker, likes to crack up a few jokes, and likes to get in trouble every time. But I keep an eye on him so he won't get into trouble. Because I'm the only brother who knows that he's going to get in trouble. Okay, last but certainly not least, my oldest, my biggest, and my most strongest brother out of the 6 of us is Earthquake. The reason why his name is Earthquake is because he can create massive, devastating earthquakes by slamming or stomping on the ground, by calling the degree of how strong the earthquake's going to be, to create devastating, earthquakes to fight enemies. Now I have already introduced to my brothers, we should probably get back on the video so we can explain the second part of my life story. And today's life story I'm going to be talking about is Part 2, Strange World, New Life. After being taken to another pocket dimension far away from Cybertron, which is our home planet, we came across a planet called Earth. But then, our escape pod was then caught on fire and pursued to land on Earth. After being knocked unconscious from the impact of the crashing incident, my brothers and I came out of the escape pod. There our eyes, we saw a beautiful land called a jungle. We're not sure what this place was, but it looked a bit beautiful at the first start. But then, we were surrounded by SWATmen. They then kidnapped us, put us into their truck, and then proceeded to drive away. After days of driving, they took us to a strange facility called Apex. These tall jerks put me and my brothers in separate containers for them to test on us to see what we came from. But one of these men, who was secretly working for a place called Monarch named Jack Benjamin, is secretly working undercover to rescue me and my brothers. Which, for no reason, I don't know why. So he put me and my brothers in the dog cage and was about to leave the facility, but the guards found him with me and my brothers inside the cage, escaping with us. They immediately tried to shoot him, but they missed. Then, Benjamin then got to his car quickly, turned it on, and then left immediately, with me and my brothers inside the truck. One day, he took us to his apartment where we could live, but somewhere in San Francisco. He then told us to stay inside the apartment. So to hide ourselves, my brothers and I trans-scanned some everyday kitchen objects so we can hide. Because, again, we're half Transformer. Some days, with him or without him, we always love to play video games, eat a lot of food, but you're also questioning why we eat food. Well, you see, some majority of Transformers media doesn't show how we Transformers eat food. But my brothers and I do eat food. It was all because due to the mutations from what the virus gave us, we became half organic mutants. Which means we're half cybernetic and half organic. But that's not important. Let's get into the most depressing stuff around here. Yep. Apparently, it's been 8 years since we've been in the apartment. And this is where the depressing stuff comes in. So later in 2014, something awful happened. There was a huge showdown between monster and monster in San Francisco. Everyone was evacuating the city because due to the fight that the monsters are having. My brothers and I, along with our human owner, Jack Benjamin, evacuated our apartment building and went to go to the evacuation center to get out of there alive. Suddenly, as we tried to escape, the car then crashed into debris. My brothers and I tried to get ourselves out of there, but we got up top of the truck, which means there was a window on top of us. So we got out of the window and grabbed the supplies and everything. But I then noticed that our human owner was impaled by a metal fragment, which is impaling his leg. He told me that I need to take care of my brothers and make sure that they can handle anything that comes in their way. Because if I didn't, they might end up dead. But I didn't leave because I was trying to get our human owner out. But then, as when the building collapsed, he pushed me out of the truck and the building crashed on the car. After the death of my human owner, I was then sad for what had just happened after the building collapsed on him. And then, that's when I heard it. It was like a monster like I have ever seen before, right before my eyes. So I left to rejoin my brothers. Later, my brothers and I came to the evacuation center, but everyone was already evacuated. Except for the airport. We go to the airport, go inside one of the planes that said it was going to Canada, and then we flew off out to the sky inside the airplane, and then see our city from above already destroyed. My brothers were worrying if our human owner was still alive, but turns out I told him that he was dead after a building crushed him, and he saved my life by pushing me out of the truck before I could get crushed. With our human father gone, my brothers and I could not survive on this planet. But then we came to a place that we now call home. We now live among this place, hiding in plain sight, but watching over it in secret. My brothers and I have now developed our own capacities for courage. We hunt and we scavenge for food. Like my brothers, there's more to them than meets the eye. I am Jaxmus Prime, and I want to thank you all for all of your 24 subscribers' votes, and even giving the first video of my story a chance for a series. For knows we know it, we are here. We are waiting.